It was a regular Tuesday afternoon at the McDonald's on Fifth Avenue in New York City. The hustle and bustle of the city was evident as customers filtered in and out, the clattering of trays and the hum of conversations filling the air. Behind the counter, Sophia White, a 24-year-old cashier, was in her zone, handling orders with precision. A fast-paced job, but Sophia loved it. She wasn't just any cashier, though. Sophia had an uncanny ability to remember orders. It wasn't rare for regulars to be amazed when they walked in, and she'd have their favorite meals ready before they could even step up to the counter. But there was one order she had committed to memory better than all the others: Donald Trump's. For years, she'd heard stories about his famous McDonald's order: a quarter-pounder with cheese, extra pickles, large fries, and a Diet Coke. It was a staple of his routine, and Sophia, being a big fan of his unconventional ways, had paid attention. She had made it a point to learn his usual. Little did she know that attention to detail would lead to an unforgettable moment. On that fateful afternoon, the doors swung open with a jingle, and the crowd inside the restaurant paused. A sudden silence filled the air as Donald Trump himself walked in, dressed in his usual tailored suit and red tie, his presence undeniable. Sophia's eyes widened. It wasn't every day a former president walked into a fast food joint. Trump made his way to the counter, where Sophia stood, her heart racing. As he approached, he glanced at the menu, then looked at her with a small grin. "What's good today?" he asked casually, his voice as commanding as ever. Sophia, taking a deep breath, smiled back. She knew exactly what to say. "I'd say your usual, Mr. Trump. A quarter-pounder with cheese, extra pickles, large fries, and a Diet Coke. Correct?" The room went silent. Trump's eyes widened in surprise, and a slow smile spread across his face. "You know my order?" he asked, clearly impressed. Sophia nodded, trying to hide the excitement bubbling up inside her. "I do, sir. I've heard you like it just like that, and I made sure to remember." Trump chuckled, shaking his head in disbelief. "I've been to plenty of places, but this is something special," he said, turning to the small crowd now gathering around the counter. "You're good. You're very good." Then, to Sophia's surprise, he pulled out his phone and began recording. "Folks, this is why America is great. I walk into a McDonald's, and this young woman here not only knows my name, but knows my order by heart. I'm telling you, this is the kind of service we need in this country," he announced, his voice booming with that signature confidence. Sophia, still stunned, quickly put together the meal, taking extra care to get everything just right. As she handed him the tray, Trump leaned in and said, "You're a star. Keep it up, Sophia." The moment felt surreal. But what happened next was even more unbelievable. Trump posted the video on his social media accounts with the caption, "Went to McDonald's today, and this amazing lady knew my order by heart. Just another reason why America is the greatest country in the world. Service excellence, McDonald's." The video quickly went viral. Within hours, it had millions of views. News outlets across the country picked it up. Online forums buzzed with excitement. People were talking about Sophia everywhere. But the real surprise came the next day. As Sophia walked into work, she noticed something odd. There were cameras outside, and her manager was standing at the door, grinning from ear to ear. "Sophia, you're not going to believe this," her manager said, holding out his phone. "Corporate just called. They want to give you a promotion. They're flying you out to their headquarters next week for a meeting." Her mouth dropped open. She was still trying to process everything that had happened when her phone buzzed. She glanced down to see a new message from an unknown number. She hesitated before opening it. The message read, "Hi, Sophia. This is Donald Trump. Just wanted to reach out personally and say thank you for the incredible service. If you ever want to explore opportunities beyond McDonald's, let me know. Big things ahead. Donald. Sophia's heart skipped a beat. She read it again, just to make sure it was real. She had never imagined in a million years that a simple exchange over fast food could lead to something like this. In the days that followed, Sophia became a national sensation. News outlets called for interviews, and social media followers flooded her pages. She even received job offers from companies and organizations, some with high-paying positions that were hard to believe. But it wasn't just the fame or the attention that changed her life. It was the message Trump's surprise had sent. One small act of kindness and remembering something as simple as an order had the power to change everything. And as for Sophia, she took a deep breath, realizing that she was no longer just another cashier at McDonald's. She had become a symbol of what could happen when hard work, a little attention to detail, and a touch of kindness came together. Her life, it seemed, had just begun. As the days went by, Sophia White's life was changing rapidly. Everyone was expressing their admiration for her after that ordinary day at McDonald's, and they were sharing their thoughts on social media. Her follower count skyrocketed, and newspapers and TV shows were putting her under the microscope. But the biggest shift for Sophia came with the message from Trump himself. While she tried to process all the attention, she was also wondering what direction her life would take. A week later, Sophia was walking into her McDonald's shift, feeling like she was stepping onto a TV set. People were greeting her, and customers were lining up just to take pictures with her. But Sophia still tried to remind herself that, for the most part, everything was still normal. All she wanted was a little peace and quiet for a while. That day, an email from McDonald's HQ landed in her inbox, leaving Sophia even more stunned. Sophia White, you are invited to meet with McDonald's Global Communications team. This invitation includes attendance at a prestigious award ceremony. Congratulations on your success. Sophia stared at the email, trying to process what she had just read. The opportunity was real. It wasn't just a flash-in-the-pan moment. McDonald's was acknowledging her in a way she never imagined. She quickly texted her mom. Guess what? McDonald's just invited me to a big event. I think it's real this time. Her phone buzzed with her mom's response. That's incredible, honey. You've earned it. But are you sure you're ready for this? Sophia took a deep breath and replied, Honestly, I'm scared. But I think it's time to embrace it. The following days were a whirlwind. Media outlets started calling, asking for interviews. Sophia even received offers for paid brand collaborations, a stark contrast to her usual routine of ringing up burgers and fries. But amid all the excitement, she couldn't shake off the feeling of being overwhelmed. The day of the event arrived, and Sophia found herself at a lavish hotel ballroom in New York City, surrounded by industry giants and celebrities. She had never imagined a life like this. Her hands shook as she adjusted her dress, wondering if she belonged in this world of glitz and glam. As she entered the event, a familiar voice called her name. She turned to find Donald Trump himself standing there, giving her a warm smile. Sophia, he said, extending his hand, you're more than just an amazing employee. You've inspired millions. Sophia smiled nervously. I didn't expect this kind of attention, but thank you, Mr. Trump. Well, it's well-deserved, he replied. I've been following your story, and it's incredible what you've done. You've turned a moment of kindness into something that's impacting people's lives. That's why you're here tonight. As Trump led her to her seat at the VIP table, Sophia tried to grasp the magnitude of it all. This wasn't just about one lucky encounter. It was about how small moments could spark big changes. The night was filled with speeches and presentations, But Sophia couldn't help but reflect on how her life had transformed from a regular McDonald's cashier to a figure that people admired and looked up to. At the end of the evening, Sophia was called to the stage to receive an award for her exceptional customer service and the way she handled the viral moment with grace. Standing there, she realized that her impact was far bigger than just a viral video. It was about the ripple effect of kindness. When Sophia took the stage, she looked out at the crowd of industry leaders, influencers, and celebrities. For the first time in weeks, she felt truly at peace. The applause echoed around her as she said, "I didn't do this for fame, and I didn't do this for recognition. I did this to show that kindness still matters. It's those small moments that can change everything." The room erupted in applause once again. The crowd was moved by her authenticity and humility. As Sophia left the event, her phone buzzed with more notifications. A message from Trump appeared on her screen. "Great job tonight, Sophia. Keep inspiring." Sophia smiled. For the first time in a long while, she felt like she had made a difference. Not just in her own life, but in the lives of others too. And as she headed back to her regular shift at McDonald's the next day, she knew one thing for sure. This was just the beginning of a much bigger journey. Sophia couldn't believe how fast her life had changed after that night. She'd always been a hard worker, but suddenly she was in the spotlight. The fame, the attention, it was overwhelming. But as she sat in her apartment one night, scrolling through the thousands of messages, she realized something important. None of this would mean anything if she lost touch with who she truly was. It was the simple moments that mattered the most. Helping a customer, sharing a laugh with a coworker, feeling the satisfaction of a job well done. The fame and fortune were nice, but they didn't define her. One day, while working her shift, Sophia caught a glimpse of a family in the drive-thru. A little boy in the back seat was staring at her with wide eyes. His mom smiled nervously and told Sophia, "He saw you in the video. He thinks you're a superstar." Sophia smiled warmly, but inside she felt a wave of humility. "I'm just like you," she said, leaning down to the car window. "We all have our own special things that make us who we are." The boy smiled back, his eyes full of admiration, and Sophia knew that this moment, this simple exchange, was what mattered most. Later that night, after finishing her shift, she sat in her car and pulled out her phone. She typed a post to her followers, something she'd been thinking about for a while. Success isn't measured by followers or fame. It's measured by how many lives you touch along the way. I've learned that even the smallest acts of kindness can make the biggest difference. Whether it's a smile, a helping hand, or just taking the time to listen, never underestimate the power you have to change someone's day. Let's all keep spreading kindness. The post quickly went viral, not because of who she was, but because of the message it carried. People started sharing their own stories of small acts of kindness. Sophia's simple words were changing lives in ways she never expected. A few days later, she received a message from a woman who had been struggling to keep her business afloat. She told Sophia that after reading her post, she'd been inspired to offer a job to someone who had been down on their luck. That job offer had turned their life around. Sophia sat back in her chair, amazed. It was moments like this that reminded her what truly mattered. It wasn't the fame or the attention. It was the ability to inspire change, even in the smallest ways. Now, she had a question for you. When was the last time you made someone's day just by being kind? It doesn't have to be a grand gesture. A simple hello, a compliment, or a helping hand can create ripples that change lives. What's one small act of kindness you can do today? Let's make this world a little brighter, one act at a time. Share your story in the comments below. I'd love to hear how you're spreading kindness today, because sometimes it's the little things that make the biggest difference.